Hey guys, it's David and Raina again with WholeFamily.com. And today we're going to talk about why discipline doesn't work and what to do instead.
So the first reason why discipline might not be working for you is that you're viewing it as punishment instead of teaching. So what I mean by that is the whole reason that we even discipline, it comes from the word discipline or disciple, which means to teach. And really that's how we should be viewing discipline. So our goal is not to control a child through their behavior, manipulate them into trying to be this perfectly behaved little child. We have to view kids almost like aliens from outer space, or like they're foreigners to the country, and it's our job to teach them. And you can't expect them to get it after just one time of teaching them. I certainly don't learn after just one time of anything. It takes me a while to learn proper behavior or etiquette or things like that. If you were a traveler to another country, you wouldn't just pick up on something. It's going to take you a little while. And really, when you can view discipline and parenting from that perspective, that it's just your job to teach your child, it actually can take a lot of the emotion out of, their misbehavior. It's less triggering when you're viewing it as, okay, this is a teachable moment, not this is a moment where I have to discipline and hammer it in or else they're not going to learn.
Right. And that leads us to the second point. Perhaps you're reacting in anger versus responding calmly. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have a toddler or two toddlers that are fighting over a toy and it's getting pretty heated, and you come into the room and say, "What are you doing? Give him back his toy." You've responded or you've reacted angrily to the situation. And just think about if you were to react that way with your spouse, or if a boss or a teacher was to react that way towards you, you wouldn't be so inclined to want to listen. You probably would react in kind, perhaps angrily right back to them. And you would probably shut down or try to just eliminate yourself from the situation. And children are far more emotional than adults when it comes to this. So the next time that you see behavior taking place, just remember to respond calmly. Get down on their level, like on your knees, or so they're at the same eye level as you. Because when someone's talking to you and they're towering over you and you have a very deep demeanor and voice about you, you're kind of intimidating and quite scary to them. So get down on their level, keep your voice very calm, very collected, and in return, they're more likely to respond the same way back to you and listen to what you have to say. And then perhaps you could even turn that into the teachable moment that Raina just mentioned.
That's right. So the third reason why discipline might not be working, what to do instead, is that you're addressing the misbehavior versus looking at the underlying reason behind the misbehavior in the first place. So what I mean by that is when you're focusing on what's going wrong as opposed to what might be causing it. So if your child is acting out, and you're out shopping, maybe it's that your child is just tired and hungry and you've been shopping for 2 hours and haven't stopped. And that's not really fun or interesting to them. And oftentimes there's, something going on inside. So children can stew on things and they hold a lot of things that have happened inside. And a lot of things like aggression and outbursts are actually caused by anxiety. So maybe something happened at school or daycare or on a play date, and your child doesn't really know how to express that they're upset about that or worried about it. And so they're acting out. Oftentimes when you can play detective with your child and try to think about, put yourself in their shoes for a moment when they've misbehaved and think about, okay, did something just happen before I walked in the room, or did something happen earlier? Or, oh yeah, we're a couple hours late for lunch. Maybe my child just needs to eat and go take a nap. So when you can think about it from that perspective, it really helps you to stay calm and to turn it into a teachable moment.
Great. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. But just remember these 3 points. Try to teach instead of punish. Try to respond calmly instead of reacting angrily. And try to address the underlying reason as opposed to the behavior itself. We think if you do these 3 things, you'll see a tremendous difference in your child's behavior, and you'll start to see why it works better than the traditional discipline approach. So tomorrow, look for our next email around the shocking reason why your child is hitting and what to do to stop it.
We'll see you then.